I'm Paul Saxton, CTO of the Microsoft Biz Apps practice here at DXC, and today I'd like to take you through an exciting offering that we have called Safe Workspace Management. This solution is based on the Microsoft Power Platform, making it simple to deploy, scalable, and secure. The solution is broken down into two main applications: the administration app, where we can define workspaces. Individual desks can be defined, and we have support for multiple offices, multiple locations, and multiple floors. The user app is designed to make it easy for our employees to pick a space, to pick a date, before initiating a workflow to ensure their line manager is happy for them to go on site. Let's take a look. So here we are in our Safe Workspace Management admin console. In here, we get to define our admin settings. This is a place where we go to define email addresses for alerts and enable and disable functions. Contacts is a place where we can store our key contacts, such as an office manager, to make it easy for our users to communicate with. We have the ability to manage our facilities. Let's take a look a bit more in depth at this feature, which is a key part of the solution. Within this section, I'm able to manage the countries, cities, buildings, floors, rooms, and all important workstations that are available. Let's start off by defining a building, as cities and countries have already been defined. I'm going to create a new building. I'm going to call that building Demo Building. Let's pick a city. In this case, I'm going to choose Manchester. Once I've defined a building, I'm going to jump through and define a floor. We can define as many floors as we'd like. In this case, I'm going to create this one as Demo Floor 1, and I'm going to choose our demo building to attach it to. Finally, I'm going to go through and manage the room. Let's take a look. Create a new room. We'll pick our building. We'll pick its floor, and now we're going to upload an image of the room. This is really important as it gives us a nice visual way of representing the workspaces which are available in the next setup step. So let's click on this box to upload a picture. I'm going to go and find a nice picture of a floor which the system will upload, and I'm going to save it in. So that's added our room. In this case, the room is the entire floor. You can pick what you want to represent. Now for the most important step, we're going to manage the workstations. Let's go in. Let's change our location to our new location. Notice as soon as I flicked over to a city of Manchester, the building and the floor have automatically been filled in, as we only have one. Once we go into this next setup screen, we're presented with a nice graphical representation of the image. Notice the grid that's defined behind. I'm going to select this location in the bottom left hand corner as my first desk, and I'm going to give it a name of Desk 1. You can call it whatever you like. Next to that, I'm going to choose the next location. Here, you guessed it, I'm going to call it Desk 2. And then, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to select that the next desk as Desk 3. So there we go. Once I've done that, and I could do that at any grid space on this page, I could do it for multiple locations, but 3 is enough for our demonstration. I'm going to submit to save it. Once I've done that, I can back out, and that's the configuration complete for my new floor and my new room. Now here we are in the user app. Remember that both of these applications are available via the desktop or via a mobile device, making it really easy to deploy out to your users and control access via Active Directory. Many of those pieces that we made available and configured in the admin app have now been made available in the user app. So those things like contacts, important contacts, making requests, helpful tips and FAQs are all available here and can be easily reviewed by our end users. I also have the ability to take a look at my bookings and the history of the bookings that I've made. But first of all, let's go book a seat. In this case, remember, we're going to flick back to that Manchester demo building that we defined earlier. Notice, as we only have one building, one floor and one room available in Manchester, these things have been defined and defaulted in without us needing to go through and select them individually. Let's move through to our bookings. Notice on the left hand side we have a really simple calendar picker, and on the right hand side we have our image. Note the dots that have been made available at the spaces that we defined. I'm going to pick a date such as the 8th, and I'm going to choose a specific location. I'd like this one, which is desk 2. We can see this made available over here. If I change my mind, I can really quickly and easily delete it. But actually, I'm going to stick with desk 2 on the 8th. The next thing I'm going to do is say, well, the week later I'd also like to go in. Notice this time that that desk is no longer highlighted. At this point I'm going to choose desk 3. Very simply I can move back through the calendar to see the desks that I've picked on specific dates. This would be the same for another user who would actually see, once confirmations happened, those desks go red because they've already been booked. So I'm happy with my selected dates, I'm happy with my selected desks. Let's move through to the next page. At this point, I'm going to pick my line manager. This is automatically been defaulted via the information available within Outlook. In this case, I'm going to choose myself. Once I select that and book, a workflow is automatically sent out to my manager, in this case me, to request permission to take those dates. If I look in my history of my bookings, I can see the current status. These are the dates that I've submitted, the different desks that I've requested to sit at, and the current status, which is all waiting for approval. Once approval has been granted, I'll receive a notification in Outlook telling me that my request has been approved, and the status in my bookings will be updated. The final thing I want to do here is jump back to the admin app and take a look at the reports. In the report section, we're presented with a Power BI workspace, which in this case is showing us some very high level information around the different desks and how they've been booked. We can see represented on the right hand side here the most frequent users of the office. We can filter specific days and see who's booked to go in on set days, and we can interact with this report and extend it based on all the information that's been made available. So thank you for taking the time to review our Safe Workspace Management application. I hope that's given you a good insight into how this can be applied to your business, providing your employees with a safe and efficient way of booking a workspace. We're pleased to provide it at a very low fixed price, and the application itself requires only an Office E3 license. For those who do want to use the Power BI functionality, a Power BI Pro license is required. With that, thank you for your time.